Welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're a return subscriber, thanks for coming back and watching a new video. And if you're new here, at the end of the video, if you like, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Well, let's get into the video. The Trent Grisham dilemma. Obviously, this is kind of part of the dilemma series that I've been making going into the 2026 season, but Trent Grisham is definitely well deserved as an entry into the series. Trent Grisham, obviously, he was acquired during the Juan Soto trade, and he's had a bad year and he's had a really great year. It just kind of depends on what version of Trent Grisham are we really going to get going into 2026. In 2025, his age 28 season, he had 235, 34 home runs, 74 RBIs, at 811 OPS with 125 OPS plus. Trent Grisham was great last year. It was a very surprising year from him because he was never known as an offensive threat. The man hit 34 home runs out of Trent Grisham. I think that is a very big positive for him, and I think the Yankees were very happy with getting that kind of production out of him in center field. So 2025 was a great season from him. Now, when it comes to like his career average, Trent Grisham by far exceeded what his career has looked like so far until last year. I mean, in his career, he hit 218, an average of 15 home runs a season, 68 RBIs, 720 OPS, 101 OPS plus. So offensively, he has looked pretty average to below average. He's had a lot of below average seasons. So some of that career average kind of does come up because of last year, the great year that he had. But overall, Trent Grisham is not known as an offensive threat, and it was good to see that production out of 2026. But the dilemma really begins on, we know that offensive production may not be sustainable. 2025 was a pretty much, like I said, an outlier year offensively and defensively. His games kind of flip-flop. Defensively, he has been known as a Gold Glover with a below-average bat. Last year, it flipped. He was a great offensive talent, and his defense was not very good. So I think what are we really going to get at Trent Grisham going into 2026? During the offseason, he was offered a $22 million qualifying offer, which he took. And ultimately, it's contributing in the blocking of our elite prospects, a Spencer Jones, a Jason Dominguez. Both of those guys are blocked because the Yankees wanted to be the smartest guy in the room, and they offered a guy that had the greatest season of his career, a $22 million offer, and the rest of his market, I'm guessing it didn't develop too much, and he really wanted to take the money. So he returned, and the Yankees wanted to try to protect draft picks instead of let him walk, and now we're stuck with a Trent Grisham on a one-year deal when we should ultimately be developing that position going towards the future. Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez, both of those guys are going to be a direct result of that poor decision that the Yankees made. That's 1 year less or half a season less or however much time that Trent Grisham is going to be in that position. That's going to be less development for both of those talents. I think that's something that the Yankees don't do well when it comes to other teams, is that we don't give our prospects enough time and shine to be able to play. Other teams will trade guys that they don't see a future for, or don't even re-sign them at all, just to make a lane for their prospects so that they can play, make mistakes, and overall develop as they will be part of their future. You know, some guy that's going to be cheap, that's going to have great talent, a guy that's going to be motivated. It's just overall a big loss for the Yankees, and it's a big loss for those two key prospects that we have sitting in AAA. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, when it comes to Grisham, like I hinted on before, he's not part of the outfield future. The outfield future is Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez in that center field role. I ultimately see Spencer Jones probably sliding into that position more. I think he's the better defender compared to him and Jason Dominguez. Obviously in AAA, he's been known for having pretty good defense. He's quick out there. He has good range. He's just a good athlete. So I think Spencer Jones, keep him in his natural position. Obviously, we played Jason Dominguez out of his natural position, and left field has definitely been an area where he needs to develop. But I think Trent Grisham ultimately will be out of that position, whether it's sometime throughout the season or even if it's next season when we hopefully don't resign him. But we really need to see those young guys play. And then lastly, Trent Grisham has struggled in spring training a lot, a big amount of time when it comes to spring training. Now, if we go into his baseball reference for the spring training, so far he's hit only 160 with a 450 OPS, no home runs, 8 strikeouts. It's just not good. I mean, obviously, spring training, it doesn't really matter in the big scope of things, but at the same time, if you're in this year with a lot of eyes on you because, you know, the year that you had last year, it doesn't look great. But we're definitely going to see where he kind of falls, and ultimately Trent Grisham, we're definitely going to see what he's going to do. Now, while we're here, obviously baseball reference, you can kind of see kind of the trending progression that we talked about earlier when it comes to his career, his hitting, everything like that. His best season before was in 2022. I mean, I guess power-wise was 17 home runs, but he hit under 200. He actually hit under 200 the previous 3 seasons. 2024, under 200 with the 190. 2023, 198. 2022, 184. Obviously, 2024, he wasn't our main starter. He only played 76 games. But the years before that, he was a starter. 153 games, 152 games. And then 2021, he hit over 200, 242. You know, he had 15 home runs. His OPS was 740, so he hit above average that year. In 2020, he also had a decent year in a shortened season, so you really want to take that with a grain of salt. But like I said, the offense definitely is very up and down. And then lastly, let's look at his baseball savant. Talk about a little bit about last year. Obviously, like we said, with his stats, he had great stats, but offensively, he had a lot of red. We can't doubt that. A lot of red, batting run value, slugging, exit velo, barrel, you name it, chase percentage. He doesn't chase. That is one good thing about Trent Grisham. He is sometimes a little too patient. He squares up the ball. He walked a good percentage last year. But like I said, with the flip-flop earlier in the video, the fielding is all in the blue. Everything's in the blue besides the arm strength. Outs above average, -2. Arm value, -1. Now, it's not bleeding blue, but it's still in the blue. And then sprint speed, we know Trent Grisham's not very fast. He's a very nonchalant center fielder. Fielding run value, not really there. Like we said, he was in the blue. And the base running value, not good. So Trent Grisham is kind of an anomaly. And as a Yankee fan, I kind of don't want to play the bet on Trent Grisham. I think we need to place our bets on the future. Like I said, Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez, we want to see them play. So the Yankees do have a dilemma on their hands. And ultimately, we have to see what they're going to do in 2026 with that dilemma. But let me know down below in the comments. Did you like the video? What do you think about Trent Grisham? Last year, he had a great year. Do you think the Yankees should retain him, or do you think the Yankees should have moved on in the offseason? But thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you on the channel for the next video. Welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville.